Hello, everyone. I'm in front of you again with a new and very interesting topic about time value of money. So, if you are not from a finance background, do not worry about it because my videos are specifically intended to people who don't have any finance background and but they want to learn about finance and you will see that slowly over a period of time if you follow my channel you will be definitely getting better in finance, managing finance and understanding finance. So without wasting any time, I will take you to the lecture and let's see what we can gain from this lecture series. So I'll start this presentation. We will speak about the time value of money. So before we begin, let's consider a problem. And this problem is a very common problem and it happens to us in many forms. It comes in front of us in many forms. Let's say your brother has offered to give you either $15,000 today or $17,000 in 3 years. If the interest rate is 8% per year, which option would you prefer? Would you like to take $15,000 today or $17,000 in 3 years? Um, if you want, if feel free to pause this video and try to answer it yourself, how you are going to approach this problem, and we will definitely learn about this problem in this video. Now, um, to make the basis, to make the base, we speak of the valuation principle in finance. Value is nothing but it's a difference of benefits minus costs. What benefits you are going to achieve from a particular action minus the costs for that action. But we have to note that costs and benefits should be measured in common units. There should not be differences in units. Apples should be measured to apples and oranges to oranges. There should not be a time where we are comparing apples with oranges. One way to do this is to convert different commodities to their present cash values. So we will clarify this with a scenario. You have an opportunity to acquire 250 barrels of oil and 3,500 pounds of copper for a total of $30,000. The market price of oil is $90 per barrel and for copper is $3.5 per pound. You are not sure that you need all the oil and copper, so you are wondering whether you should take this opportunity or not. So the first approach would be to convert the barrels of oil, the pounds of copper, they are right now in different units, to a common unit, which is of cash. So the value of oil is 250 times 90, that is $22,500. Value of copper is 3,500 times 3.5 is $12,250. So we add up the total cost is total value is 34,750. The cost is 30,000. As you can see from simple mathematics, the value created is the benefits are of worth $34,750, while the cost is $30,000. You have to pay $30,000 to get this $4,750. So there is a value created in this deal. So in my opinion, or from the value principle, you should go ahead and do this deal. But will this condition remain true forever? Will you always be benefited from this offer? The answer is no, because more and more people will see this opportunity to make a profit. Ultimately, the opportunity will be finished. This is called arbitrage. This is a very important concept in finance, although it has no use in the time value of money. What I'm going to tell you here, but just I thought that you should be aware of this term arbitrage. Now, in the previous example, we saw that the timelines are are same. Everything is happening in present time. But what about analyzing cost benefits in different timelines? Here comes the principle of time value of money. In real life scenarios, what happens is an investment in is done upfront, and this investment provides benefits in the future. So, how to analyze such situation? So, if you have, for example, you are given an investment opportunity to invest $100,000 in a certain factory, and after 1 year, this investment will turn out to be $105,000 after 1 year. So, should you invest in this opportunity or not? What do you think? It's very easy. The value created is 105,000 minus 100,000, that is 5,000. So you should invest. But no, this approach is wrong because it ignores the timing of the costs and benefits. They happened in different time periods. You have to invest $100,000 today to reap the benefits after 1 year. So there is a time difference from present to future. So this is not the correct approach. Here comes the time value of money, the difference in the value between money today and money in the future. With certain examples, you will be able to understand what I mean. This increase in the value is because of the interest rate. It is like a rent to use the money. So the future value is equals to present value times 1 plus R, where R is the rent to use the money or interest rate. So now let's revisit the problem again. You want to invest $100,000 in a machinery at 8% per annum interest. The project is expected to yield a return of $105,000 after 1 year. Should we make this investment? So there is an extra data of 8% per annum interest has been added to the problem. Now let's see what happens to our case. So after 1 year, you are going to get a return of $105,000 from this investment of $100,000. There is another situation now. If you have this $100,000 and you have to invest this in the bank, since you are getting an 8% per annum interest. So from the example of from the previous slide, we see that future value is equals to present value times 1 plus R. The returns of this saving is $108,000. So if we compare our cash flow after 1 year, notice that we have converted both these scenarios to a common timeline. Now after 1 year in the future, we are now comparing everything in the future. We find that investing in the bank is more beneficial than investing in the project. From the value creation formula, value created is equals to cost is equals to benefits minus costs. Benefit of investing in the factory is $105,000, while the cost is $108,000. That is, you are going to miss on this opportunity if you would have invested in the bank. So this is the cost. So the value is degraded now. It is minus $3,000. So we should not take those investment opportunities where value is destroyed. So I hope I have made my point a bit clearer. Now, what happens to those cases where uh, where investment is done over a period of time, over a regular period of time? So far, we saw the interest rate for 1 year. But what if We have to move our cash flows for multiple years. We have this timeline. Let's say you invested $100 today, and after 1 year, you got $110. This $110 came from this previous formula. Future value is equals to present value times 1 plus R. So 110 times 1 plus rate of interest. In this case, the rate of interest is 10% or zero point 0.1. So for year 1, it becomes 110. For year 2, it becomes 110 times again 1.1. So it is 121, and then so and so forth. So if we have to generalize over a period of time, we will say that future value is equals to present value times 1 plus R over N times Nx. We will see each and every term in detail. FV is equals to future value, PV is equals to present value, R is the rate of interest, N is the number of compounding periods. That means for this case, it is every year it is compounded once, but there may be case where it would be compounded twice or quarterly or every day. And X is the number of periods. This is generally years. So this is a very important concept. So I think I should take you to Excel to elaborate more about this formula. Now, I have already prepared one sheet to elaborate my concept. So if you have $100 today and you want to invest this $100 at 10% per annum, where number of compounding period n is 1 right now, and number of years is 4. So we calculate R over N. If you recall from the formula, this is the R over N. So I have used 10 over 1, and then nx, if you recall from the formula, is the power of this power raised to this formula nx. This is the multiplication of number of years time the number of compounding periods. So, and we calculate the future value. I will show you again here. We write equal to FV. So you see, returns the future value of an investment based on a periodic constant payment. So we select this with tab. Then for this rate is actually R by N. Be careful with this. Rate is not this 10%, but the rate that goes here is actually R by N. So we select this block and then we put a comma. Then number of period, NPER, is not number of years 4, it is actually N times X. So for this we select this block. For PMT, we will wait for next few lessons to understand this, but right now it is not very relevant here. So we put a comma here. PMT is not relevant here. I put again a comma here. And the present value is negative of this. I will explain why this is negative. I close the bracket here and I make it this. So you see, this is in line with what we got here. Sorry, this is a mistake. It should be 146.41, but it is 146.63. There's a mistake, but this should be 146.41. So this is in line with our calculation. Now I'll tell you what happens if I change this minus sign to a plus sign. I make a backspace and then this. You see, it immediately turned into negative. What happened here is this is assuming that in finance we have a certain direction to the cash flow. So when we mentioned here negative this thing, it actually means that $100 we are giving away to get a return of $146. So be careful with the negative sign. Whatever sign you choose, you have to you have to make your own convention. For me, I have considered negative sign to be giving away, and positive sign of getting the cash flow. So again here, if there is some confusion, I will explain it this again. Negative negative C3, negative $100, it means $100 I'm giving away to get a return of $146. Now what happens is, if I change the number of compounding period n to, let's say, every 6 months I make it 2, you see the future value, it increased. It became 147.75. So why it increased? Because you see nx became 8. Now what happens if I change the number of compounding period to, let's say, quarterly? That means there would be 4 compounding every 4 months, every 3 months, sorry. So you see the future value, it got an increase. Then let's say we are compounding every 12 every month, so number of compounding period becomes n, and it is 148.94. So you see, as you increase the number of compounding periods, let's say you are now compounding a weekly. So you see it is now increased 149.13. Let's say now you are doing it every day or every second. You have to see, let's say I will increase this number of decimal points here. Now you can observe here, if I make it 52, 149.12518, and if I increase to 365, you see it increased. So I hope this how to use this formula for future value is clear to you. This has one practical application as well in our day-to-day life. So for that, I have to go to the Google Chrome, and I searched what I searched, and I opened a FD calculator. So let's say you want to save some money. Let's say you saved $100. We start with our present example, and we have 4 years FD period with an interest rate of 10%, which is compounding frequency is yearly, and we calculate, and it is in line with what we have calculated. The final amount that you are going to get is 146. Then we calculated FD period. We made it no compounding frequency. We made it quarterly or half yearly, and then we calculate. It is 147. This is in line with our finding. You got my point. So next time, if you are going to a certain bank for making an FD, you can very well use your Excel skills to find out, are they truthful to their words, or they are scamming you. You can very well say, or you can very well verify those things. Now I come back again to our initial calculation. So takeaway from here is to use the future value formula to write a future value formula. We will first make equal to, then we write FV, then we take tab this one, then we put the rates. Rate, be careful, this is asking about R over N and not just this R. Be careful. Number of periods is N times X. Then PMT we don't have a use here, and then for present value, be careful about the sign. If you use negative sign, you will get the result in positive, and if you use a positive sign in the present value, you will get a result in negative. So the choice depends upon you. Okay, now we move back again to our slide. I'll start the slideshow again. I hope this formula is clear to you now and how to use this in Excel. I have already gone through these things in Excel. It is more clear to you now, I hope. And then we speak of discounting. What if there is a reverse? What if there is a reverse thing, like uh, like you are given a future value, and you are given a problem to calculate the present value. This happens often in our lives. For example, you want to save $500,000 down the line, like 10 years from now. So the problem would be how much you should put in your FD account today to get $500,000 in 10 years. So these type of problems can also be solved using this using discounting. So I should show you how discounting works. We go reverse. Let's say in 4 years, we have to save $146,000. How much should you save today to have for $146,000 in your account? So again, the rate is 10%. The future value is given 146. Number of compounding periods is 1. Number of years is 4. R over N is zero point 0.1. And now here I have done already these things, but I will delete it and do it for you. Equal to present value. Here you will write present value. You will now press tab. Here rate again. Be careful. R by N. It is not asking about R. It is asking about R by N. Then we put a comma. Then we put number of periods. NPER. That is this 4. Then PMT is not useful right now, but I will go through this concept in future videos. I will put again one comma here. This now we have to be careful about the sign, because $146,000 is the cash that we are going to receive in our account. So we put it as positive and we close this bracket and we put enter. It is negative 100. That means today you have to give away $100 to earn $146.41 4 years from now. Now we change the situation a bit and we say that how much dollar you have to put today if you want to get $146 in the future 4 years from now, and it is compounding twice a year. So you see the number of the amount of money required now is less now. Number of compound, let's say we're compounding 12 months every month, so 12 months in a year, 98. Let's say we are doing it for every 52 weeks. The compound happening is every 52 weeks. You see, this is how the compounding works. I hope now the concept of compounding and discounting is clear to you. Now I go back to my slide again. Now let's revisit the problem mentioned in the beginning. Your brother has offered to give you either $15,000 today or $17,000 in 3 years. If the interest rate is 8% per year, which option is preferable? We will go back to Excel and use our Excel skills. So as I told you, for these type of problem, you have to convert everything to a single timeline. Either you go to future or you take everything to present. When you go to future, you have to use which formula? When you have to go to future, you have to use this formula. But when you have to discount the coming back, you have to use this formula. Okay, but most of the time nowadays you have to do everything on Excel. So this formula is just for your reference, but you would be working on Excel, so don't worry about it. Let's say scenario one, we convert everything to future. So we are given interest rate R 8%, 8%, number of period 3 years, number of compounding once every year. So R by N is this divided by B3 by B5, as you can see. Then NX is 3 times this, B4 times B5. You are offered today $15,000. The sum that is promised here is 17,000. Now future value I have already calculated, but I will do it again for you. So equals to future value times rate. Be careful, this is asking about R by N and not R. Then we put a comma, then we to NPER, it is asking N times X, this thing. Then PMT is not useful here, this. And then be careful about the sign. I put a negative of present value, this, and I close the bracket, this. So that means $15,000 if I receive today, they would be worth $18,895 in the future at 8% per annum compounded annually. So value created, what we learned is benefits minus cost. The benefit is 17,000, while you have to give away this amount of cost. This is the cost that you should give away to get this 17,000. So there is a value destruction because it is negative. So the conclusion is I accept $15,000 today, then to get $17,000 in 3 years. Okay, now we change our situation, we convert everything to present. We analyze this problem in the present scenario. The the previous scenario was to convert everything to future, and we saw that $15,000, taking $15,000 is more beneficial today. We will reach the same conclusion if we convert everything to present. How it is done? Interest rate is R 8%, everything is same here. Now offer in the future is 17,000, sum promised in present is 15,000. So here what we have done is present value of, we are calculating present value of 17,000. So you see present value of 17,000. I will do this again. So I will write equal to present value. I will press tab to select PV, then rate. Be careful, this is asking about R by N. Then we put a comma, then we put NPER. NPER is this. Then we put double comma, and then I put future value is this, and I put it with an sorry, I put this with a negative sign, and I close the bracket, enter. Oh, what happened? Wait, I will do this again. Yeah, here is the problem. Let me do it again. Wait. wait, I will remove everything and do it again. PV times rate is this, comma, this, comma, double comma, because PMT is not required. Then negative of this, and I close the bracket again. This, okay. So that means $17,000 3 years from now will have a present value of 13,495. So the value created is F10 minus F11. What is F10? F10 is $15,000. This is the benefit that I should get minus the cost that I should give away. That is 13,495. So again, like I reached the same conclusion that I should accept $15,000 today than to get $17,000 in 3 years. So that was so. Did you find any value in this presentation? I hope so. I tried to make things clear about time value of money, and these have a lot of applications in our day-to-day life. For example, in loan calculations, when you go to a bank and you don't know how to calculate the future value of the the loan amount that you are taking. I hope this should give you some understanding, and follow my channel to know more about finance. And I would be posting a lot of business related topics follow which you can follow from my channel, and you don't have to take any expensive MBA course or finance course. And I thank you very much for your time and your patience. Thank you.